This is our first broadcast for PCN. Oh, I've already failed.
As always.
This is Yuki3056 with a numb lip, just back from the dentist, and my co-host.
And Mr. Silverwolf20 with a very bad cold. I don't feel like explaining why, but let's keep going.
Alright. Well, our main topic of discussion today is, of course, what everybody's been talking about, the 5th generation. Yes, the most current happenings in the Pokemon world.
Brought to you by a couple of idiots who don't know all that much. With a numb lip.
So we've decided that we were going to start out by kind of giving our opinions and thoughts on the new Pokemon. As far as starters go, my opinion would be, I kind of like the starters. At first when I saw them, I didn't. But now to me they're kind of cool, and my favorite thus far has to be the second stage of the water starter. How about you, Silver?
I kind of like the idea of Gelorda. It definitely looks different than any of the other starters from any of the gens. The first evolution of the water starter just looks like another Marshtomp. Or, yeah, it just looks like a changed Marshtomp. But it doesn't look bad per se. And the final stage of the fire starter, I don't know. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like that we have 3 generations in a row where the fire starter is fire/fighting.
Yes,
They really needed to do something different with that.
I was just going to mention that. I feel like they fixed Blaziken with Infernape. They fixed the problems with Blaziken and Infernape, and I don't feel like they should have went for a third one. I feel like after Infernape, they should have branched out a little bit.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the fire one is the only one to get a dual typing in this generation, it just kind of seems like they're trying to put the firefighting type. Just because of the popularity of Blaziken and Infernape, they're trying to feed off of that. And I feel like feeding off of popularity of Pokemon is just going to kill it.
Honestly, if you want my opinion, I think they should have went the route of Victini for the final evolution, Psychic Fire. That would have been very interesting for the metagame. It would have been something completely different, and I would have been interested in seeing how a Fire Psychic starter would fare.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting type combination. And also, when I first saw the pictures of the 5th gen, I saw the 3 elemental monkeys, or as I like to call them, the elemental Chimchars. Because honestly, they look like a bunch of Chimchars to me.
Yeah.
I thought they were the starters. Did you not?
I kind of did, and I was really hoping they wouldn't be, because that would have been so lazy. It's already lazy enough that they have 3 elemental monkeys to begin with, but knowing what they're used for, it makes sense.
Well, the way they implemented them in the game, it was a very good implementation of the Pokemon. I will give them that. But at the same time, I have to admit, I was the tiniest bit excited of having just the thought of having maybe uniformity and your starters, instead of having this, oh man, this is such a hard decision because each starter is unique. You just go with whatever element you want because they're all the same. And my biggest problem when I start a new game is, which one do I choose? And with this, it would just be whichever element's going to most benefit the team you're going to. Because I got to admit, sometimes in the game, I just choose my favorite starter, and I don't really think about the team I'm going to use, and then I end up with like 3 grass types or something, you know? And I feel like if they had uniformity, that problem would be eliminated, but it would also be rather boring.
Because you really know how to play Pokemon. And the other thing with these monkeys is, yeah, it makes sense how they were implemented, but I kind of can't help but feel that they make the game way too easy in the beginning.
I agree. The one thing that bugs me is as soon as you get them, you can go and take on the first gym without even training them at all and be able to beat it. That really bothered me.
It would have been much more interesting to have you go into the first gym with a disadvantage and make you have to rely on catching other Pokemon right away to make it, a little bit more like you really have to think about what you're going to use at the beginning of the game because your starter will not help you in the first gym.
Right.
Maybe
I like the
maybe that's
fact that your starter cannot dominate the first gym because in every other game there has been this situation where you have to choose a starter that's going to have an advantage over the first gym, and you know which ones have the advantage.
yeah.
But going into this game, the first gym, you're not going to have the advantage no matter what you choose.
Just to give an example of what the first gym is for people who don't know, there are three gym leaders, and they each use the same types that you start out with: fire, water, and grass. Now, how the gym works is whatever type your starter is, they will use they will use the monkey that is super effective against your type. So if you chose the grass starter, they would use the fire monkey, and so on and so forth.
But the way to counteract this is the game implemented a feature where before you can go into the gym, you have to go on this side route and you have to talk to this girl. And this girl asks you what your starter Pokemon was. And whatever your starter Pokemon was, you get the grass monkey. You get the elemental monkey that is that you're super effective against. Therefore, the rock paper scissors element comes in here. Say you got the water starter, you would get the fire monkey and be fighting the grass monkey. Therefore, you have the type advantage with the monkey.
And also, can I just say that while the evolutions of the monkeys for the most part look good, the water monkey's evolved form, no.
That's this. The grass one is god tier. I gotta admit, the grass one looks badass. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
with the blade on its head, it looks amazing. The fire one doesn't look that bad. I like the flaming tail, but the water one, it just
the
looks like a
water one
mermaid
just
without
kills me.
without the fin.
The water one, oh my god. I don't even want to talk about the stance it's in, and if you get a male one, I'm not even gonna say what I think it is.
Yeah, that's the problem with having a cold while recording. Oh well.
Also, speaking of these games, if you're curious to see any gameplay on this, don't go to another channel because me being devoted to the calls, I have ordered a Japanese version of Light. It's not going to be a ROM, and I'm going to show you the gameplay straight from the DS.
Cool.
On PCN. Not live because it's uploaded, but you get the drift.
And can I just say the standard flying type for this game, its fully evolved form, kind of looks like a color pilot swap of Foghorn Leghorn.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I thought it was funny looking. And someone named it Mardi Gras, and I started laughing so hard they called it Mardi Gras.
No, it doesn't look bad, but it just looks like Foghorn Leghorn. I'm sorry. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
I actually always use the generic flying thing in at least one of my run-throughs of a game in every generation just to see how it fares. And I gotta say, I'm real excited about using this thing. It's not bad. It's actually a really good one. But I do have to complain about the English translation of its ability. Big pecs. I mean, really? Big pecs. And also, I think it was really lazy what they named it. Padub, that's just a combination of pigeon dub. I mean, really?
Yeah. Hatubu! Okay, let's silence Skype.
And then we get to perhaps one of my favorite Pokemon of the new generation, the Electric Zebra.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love the evolved form of the zebra. It looks so good.
Oh my god, I am so excited about using one of these.
And the fact that it has motor drive, ooh. Well, yeah, I don't think it's not going to really be able to compete with Electivire in terms of stats, but it still looks good.
And oh my god, the fact that it can get a Dream World Herbivore, its disadvantages to grass types is gone. Grass types can no longer wall an electric type with this thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, because Herbivore, I forget exactly how it works, but it just counter negates the effects of a grass type move. I think it either ups the speed or I'm pretty sure it ups the speed or some stat. Hang on a minute.